What's up, guys? It's your boy Mikk here, back at it again with another video. And today we're gonna do another episode of the podcast because I'm trash. But there's reasons, I think. Yeah, probably. Let's hit him with the. Right, so we're back. Now, before we get into today's topic, I just want to say that I know I have not recorded a video. And I'm working on it. I think one of the things that kind of has hit me recently is just kind of like a reevaluation of what I want to do, and I've kind of been thinking of other things that I want to try with the channel, more so because like it's gonna be about games, right? But like I've had ideas that I always wanted to do, but I would always say I'm not going to do them because I want to have more subscribers or whatever to do them, which honestly is kind of dumb, looking back into it. So really it should just be more so like if I have an idea, try it. That might be the idea that'll make all of this work, right? And so that's what I'm going to do. So these podcast things, that's going to be a thing. I have some other things that I want to try as well, so I'm going to try to work on those. So just bear with me, while I do that. So as you see in the title, today's topic is going to be about MMOs again. This time it's going to be about how can we save them. Right. Last week we talked about are they dying, and I pretty much told you I don't think so. But what does it need to have a good resurgence in the market? Like, what is it that we're waiting for? That's kind of like the topic, I guess you can say, the root of it. And it's an interesting thing. Now, let me just say this is probably going to be a short video, so don't think that you're going to be here all day. I got you. You ain't gonna be here all day. Not me. So pretty much, I think that what we're looking for, or just what we as a community kind of want, is just kind of a good game that will satisfy the majority of what we're looking for. I think most of us have enough sense to know that we're not going to be able to get everything that we want, and the most we can hope for is a good chunk of things, right? And so that comes into a number of different things that's going to come into play. And this is probably going to be another topic, and maybe I'll try to bring someone on so I can hear like another perspective as well about like their ideal MMO. But ideally, right, this isn't my perfect one, but this is just generally in a nutshell what we're looking for, right? Is a game with good content, something that's not pay to win. No one here likes that. I feel like in this day and age, people like action combat, but like there's still a lot of people that like the traditional tab targeting, and I feel like a good blend is good. Like Guild Wars 2 per se. Guild Wars 2 has a weird, it's definitely tab targeted, but it has some aspects that make it feel actiony, right? There's some things you have to hit. There's not like an automatic like you're gonna hit it every time in some of those skills. There's telegraphs for things, for different types of attacks, and I think a combat system like that really works very well in this market, and because there's some level of skill involved in it, along with it being gear based. And I think that's another thing as well. I think skill is really one thing that a lot of people are looking forward to as well in terms of playing the game, is that gear is great, right? Everybody's okay with spending the time working on gear, doing what they have to do, but when you fall into the lines of like Black Desert, right, where you're only going to be good in PvP if, and this is of course from a PvP standpoint, but you're only going to be good in PvP, which is essentially the game, until once you hit like a really good gear score, which if you don't play Black Desert, that's just the totality of basically your attack points and your defense points, which are determined by your weapons and your armor. And so ultimately, it's like, is that if you don't dedicate your time and effort to being able to like commit to grinding and AFK fishing and making money or and do whatever it is to get to those points, you're pretty much not going to be able to do much, right? There's like a blockout. I get it. There's a blockout of some content, like you're not going to be able to fight some monsters because you're not going to do enough damage. But it's like it's so heavily gear based in some cases that it's like without the gear, in a general PvP sense, you're not going to be able to stand a chance, right? And it takes away, I feel, from some of the skill, because literally you can get stomped no matter if you're good. And I think a game where some skill comes into play, gear is always going to matter. That's just like a thing. Unless you do Guild Wars 2 method, where you have it completely separately instanted, everything's balanced out, and one's higher than another. It's strictly based on skill, which I think is really cool. Unless you do something like that, gear's always going to matter, right? But I feel that if you truly know how to play your class, even without gear, you may not win, but you can definitely hold your own, and it doesn't feel like you're against this insurmountable wall. And I think that's something that everybody is looking for. Another thing, and I think this is one of the most important things too, and this kind of ties into the gear aspect and skill, is endgame, right? When you're playing an MMO, you spend all this time, you spend all these hours, you're grinding, or you're crafting, or you're making money, or you're whatever it is that you are doing that tickles your fancy, right? At the end of it, what are you doing it for, right? And so games where they lack raids or end game dungeons or end game bosses or whatever, however they want to do an end game, I'm using air quotes, you can't see it, but air quotes. So however they want to do an end game thing, I think that's one of the key things that's going to help. Yeah, leveling experience is important, right? You want to be able to have a decent leveling experience where it doesn't feel dreadful from level 1 to whatever the cap or a soft cap is. But what you're looking for is that you want to be able to say that whatever that level experience is, what it is as its own thing. And then once you hit the end, there's still more content for you. There's still story or PvE stuff that you want to do. There's PvP stuff that you can do, right? Have like a gladiator system or tournaments or whatever, something that'll get the PvP world engaged, right? And however a game has to do it, right? Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to have something that'll at least tickle someone's fancy. Dungeons are pretty much a thing. And I think that's just like, in a nutshell, what we want, like as a whole. Like if we can just have a game that's, sure, gimmicks are cool, right? Like when you have something that really stands out from the rest of, the market, that's fine and dandy. But a lot of times I feel like a lot of these games and these companies develop these gimmicks so much more so than the rest of the game that it feels like it was built around this idea, and like this is the idea, was what the game started as, and they built an MMO around it. And so everything else is kind of just like there, but like this is the thing that they really want, but like that thing kind of falls through. Like it doesn't become the thing that everybody like plays a game for, right? And so I just think that if we could get a game like that, I think that'll probably make this entire, not an entire, it'll just make the genre feel alive again. It'll probably be something that'll ring true to some folks. Like, okay, for instance, let's go there. Maple Story 2 just came out. It's an interesting little MMO. I've played it and I enjoy myself. It's not really for everybody, right? It's isometric, there's like voxels, and it's like anime and chibi and cutesy or whatever. I don't like that. But I have to admit, there's still stuff there. There's like PvP areas, kind of, where like you can attack other players. There are There's dungeons, lots of dungeons, and then you can grind those out. There's raids, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's supposed to be like regular PvP. You can play music, work on that kind of stuff. There's crafting, you can build a home. There's a lot of different aspects to a game. Honestly, I feel like there's a really good combination of different systems that I think will make the game really popular. I just know that because of the way that that game is, it's not going to appeal to a lot of people, and that's what's going to stop it from being a really good powerhouse in the genre. And so things like, I don't know, just like it's just one of those things that we're looking for something like that, but not that, right? And so, and a lot of times I feel like that's what it is, and we are looking for something that appeals to such a large audience, and everyone has their own niche things, and you know, that's why everybody plays all these different games, right? There's so many different MMOs out there still to this day, even though like you hear about shutdowns or whatever, there's still a lot out there. And everybody plays something, and a lot of them are still alive, so it's just a thing, you know. And I just think that if we had something that was well-rounded, I guess you could say, if we had something that was more like a very well-rounded overall game that's pretty polished, I think we'll be fine. And I think that is what we're waiting for. That's what this genre needs right now. If we have a game with decent graphics, a decent combat system, something to and then a little bit of something for like the PvE players and the PvP players, and I think we'll be good, right? Black Desert is a really good game, despite the pay to win and all the other nonsense and the wild grind. But it's a good game, but it's really for PvPers. PvE is not really much of anything in Black Desert, right? Guild Wars 2 is really cool for PvEers because it has all the story, the living world stuff, and all this other fancy stuff that you can do with PvE, and then you can collect and whatever, right? And the PvP is cool too, but some people don't really like that, right? It's just kind of balanced out. I think that PvP is cool because it's more so like you're rewarded for learning your class and being able to, and you have the freedom to be able to do that. So it's like you have your separated PvP stuff, and then your separated PvE stuff, and whatever you do in PvE learning it will help you in PvP, yes, but ultimately it doesn't like fully decide what's going to happen. And I like that concept personally. That's just me, but who the hell am I? So yeah, I know. I think that's what we need. We're just looking for an overall well-rounded game with a little bit of something for everybody. If we have that, we'll be fine. I think that'll be it. Like, may not even be, we're not even talking about like a perfect MMO, right? That's gonna be another topic. It's just an overall thing that we're looking for. And I think if we get something like that, this market or this genre will feel alive again, I guess you could say, because everyone feels like it's dying. But I think that would be what would make it feel alive, just as a follow-up to what we talked about 2 weeks ago, because, you know, the video last week. But yeah, I think that's what we're waiting on. It's just a good overall game. Nothing too crazy in any one direction. If we have something that hits us at a hard middle, I think everyone kind of shut up and just play. So, with that being said, I'm done for today. This is a short video. It's a short little podcast. It's only a couple minutes. I'm not even really doing a lot. Mostly because I am packing and getting ready to go to TwitchCon in the morning. I need to pack and go take a nap for this flight because it's wild early. But I wanted to have something to get put out for you guys, so that way I don't leave for like 2 weeks with nothing. And I'm hoping that if what I do with TwitchCon helps kind of not only like inspire me, but definitely help drive a lot of my ideas towards what I want around YouTube, but then also with streaming as well, because I want to get into that a little bit more. Since I kind of just do like one video a week, I feel like I have all this time that I could be doing other things, and I want to try to do that as well, fill in some of those gaps with more streaming. So that's kind of be a thing. I'm trying to work on myself. You know, we all ain't. I'm a work in progress with the big old WIP. Let me tell you. Whew. So, yeah. So that's pretty much why this is short. So I'm gonna TwitchCon. I'm really excited about that. If you're gonna be there, if you see this video and you happen to be at TwitchCon, hit me up. I'll come find you and we can say hello and chill or whatever. But yeah, so hopefully you have a great day. By the time this posts, I will be at TwitchCon. I will be in the young Callies, you know, doing it up, being a good old South Florida ratchet mess in the wrong state. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think the market needs if you have any other feelings, because definitely I'm down to talk about it. And then we'll go from there. Mikk out.